I guess I should do this. Hi, today is the last day of the Embrace Your Worth Challenge. So happy Thursday. And today we get to talk about one of my favorite topics, and that is niching and the importance of niching. So welcome everyone. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about my niching journey, and then we'll talk about the power of niching and having a successful business. Okay. So my niching journey is very interesting. I started working with clients on a part-time basis about 17 years ago now, after teaching hypnobirthing for a few years and using hypnobirthing myself. And I finally decided about 4 or 5 years ago. So I'm going to be totally honest. I was kind of a nobody in the hypnosis business until about 4 or 5 years ago. And I started going to conferences. I think my first one was HypnoThought, so maybe 4 years ago. And I thought to myself, I get to do something with this. And so I had written my Attitude of a Champion book. So I knew that I was good with athletes, although I was just a generalist hypnotist. I had not professed to be an expert in sports hypnosis or a performance mindset expert. And I was just, I would just see clients for anything. I had a part-time business. I was mostly an at-home mom. I had two foster girls, just had moved away, was kind of healing and recovering from that. That was an emotional experience. And I decided that I wanted to do something with my Attitude of a Champion manual that I had written, because I knew it was good and I knew that I had something in this really good with athletes. Yet I hadn't decided that that was my niche. So you guys that are not sure what your niche is, I'm going to go through the importance of it. And Sally even had a question about how, she gets talked into different niches. So we're going to talk about embracing it, and how do you choose your niche and how do you get clarity around it. Um, we're going to talk a little bit about what is a niche, why do you resist it. What you're going to learn in this program or in this live that I'm doing today is that a niche doesn't have to be perfect, yet it is the key to a successful and thriving business. So we're going to go through all of that. I would love to know where you guys are from. I know we start that out with every single one of them. So please let me know where you are from. I love it that you guys are from like all over the world. I just got off an enrollment call with a gentleman. His name is Nico. If you're on here, Nico, hello. He's from France, and so very interesting to me, even how athletes are different. And he was telling me about the programs that are different there, and he was telling me about how he, as a Frenchman, sees some Americans, and the differences in our culture. It's so very interesting that we can all over the world now learn about each other. And I just think it's so beautiful. So I would love to know where you're from. I am broadcasting from Wisconsin in the USA. I can't show you a picture because I tried yesterday. It's freezing cold here with lots of snow. I tried to get the dog out for a quick walk so she would be quiet during this interview or this live, because I didn't want to have to go to my office in this freezing cold stuff. Today is my work at home day. I saw clients all day yesterday and the day before that. Didn't want to have to go in there. So I took her for a quick walk, and it is like bitter cold, like 0 degrees Fahrenheit, which is like freezing temperature. So anyways, I'm from Wisconsin, and I would love to visit any of you that are in warm places. So let me know where you are. Let's see. All right. Oh, I was talking about the book. So what had happened was about 4 or 5 years ago, I decided that I was ready to make some money in this business. And I was making money because I was making, whatever, $150 an hour at the time, I think. And it was kind of extra money. And I was like, okay, I get to embrace this. It gets to be my career. I feel like it's part of my life's path. And how do I go ahead and do that? So I decided to hire a book coach. Well, I hired the book coach because I wanted him to teach me what to do with this manual that I had written and create a book out of it on Amazon, and then be able to put that out to the world. And what do I do with this now, this amazing manual that took me an entire year to create? What are the 4 sessions I use with athletes? What are my exact techniques? Like a whole year, lots of editing. So I hired this book coach, and he talks me into writing a book about niching. Now, I was like, that is not why I hired him. And he was not cheap. I think it was like $6,000. And I was like, okay, now I'm going to write a book about niching. And it's going to be a book that I offer to people about the importance of niching. And I could sell it, yet I felt like there was something in my heart that said, you know what, everybody needs this. So I wrote this book, Hypnose Niche, the power of niching for a successful and profitable hypnosis business. And his program was write a book in 90 days. So I hammered down. I had no idea about writing a book. I had no idea about publishing. I had no idea about self-publishing. I had no idea how to write. I mean, I had been to college. I graduated from college in psychology, but writing a book, like never ever in my wildest dreams. So I decided I spent this money on this coach and I was going to embrace it, and god darn it, I was going to get it done. So the book ended up being about niching. Well, prior to that, I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. I was afraid to choose a niche. I had not embraced it. I didn't realize the value of it. And so what did I do? I wrote this book on niching. And I remember the first like 60 days of this write a book in 90 days, not even 60, I'm sorry, maybe 30. So the first month, I was like, I have just committed to writing a book on something that I don't even know anything about. And I was like, okay, I get to embrace this. And then I realized I get to just tell my story and then I get to embrace it. So that's how I ended up writing a book about niching. And since then, obviously I embodied it, I embraced it, I stepped into it because I wrote it. And yet I am so glad I did. Like, I truly believe it's part of my journey. And whatever it was, God, the universe had said, write a book on it, Karen, because you're like missing the boat here. You are not embracing your niche, yet you wrote a manual on it. So then after that, I wrote the book. I got the book out there. And then I was like, okay, now I need to figure out what to do with these two books. So I hired a business coach, which at the time I was like, what the heck am I doing? Like, mega. When she told me the cost of a business coach, I was kind of like sticker shock. Yet I knew what I wanted to do. I knew where I wanted to go. And I knew that I could do it on my own in a year, in 5 years for what I wanted to create, or I could hire her resources and her experiences. And working with her for a year, I could get to where I would probably get if I did it on my own in 5 years. And I was like, that's it. I'm embracing it. So I did it. So for me, the power of a coach is, I believe it's always important to have a coach. And every time you want to up level your business, it's about hiring a coach. So that's kind of just a side note because we're talking more about niching today. All right, I see that there's a few comments here. Let me see. Yes, I can see your name. And it's Champsy, right? I want to make sure that I'm pronouncing it right. Such a beautiful name, but I want to make sure I'm pronouncing it right. She said she couldn't get the book. There's something not working. Okay, I'll check on that. All right, I'm going to check on that. All right, and then I'll check all the rest of these later. So, all righty. Okay, let's keep going here. So, where am I? Okay, I told you a little bit about my story. I believe that choosing a niche is a game changer for you, your business, and your reputation. The reason is because I remember in the first 8 to 10 years of my business, people would say, what do you do? And I would say, oh, I'm a hypnotist, or oh, I'm a hypnotherapist. And we all know that a lot of people don't. I mean, it's getting more mainstream, but at the time, people would look at me like with this blank stare, like, you're a what? A who? I would say, I teach hypnobirthing. They're like, hippo birthing? And so honestly, like it was crazy. And then when I decided to change my niche and be a performance mindset expert, or someone that helped people, like let's say you want to help somebody with grief, you say I help people work through grief. When you're a mindset expert, you can say, and you work with athletes, you can say something like, how sometimes people have the ability, or athletes have the ability, yet they lack the confidence. Well, I help athletes get the mental toughness to reach their peak performance using hypnosis to do it. Done. Now they're not like, what is a hypnotist? Or they're afraid of you because you're a hypnotist. Or I used to always get the comments, I don't know about you guys, well, can you make me cluck like a chicken? Or can you hypnotize me right now? And I always like dreaded those comments. I didn't even know how to respond. So anyways, when you embrace your niche, your elevator speech becomes so much more streamlined. and your reputation changes. So now I'm known as the sports hypnotist in our area instead of just someone that's trying to hypnotize people. So I think it's really important to choose your niche. As you can see, we're going to talk a little bit more about it. I also know, well, so what is a niche, right? What is a niche? You guys in the comments, type for me what you think a niche is. Like, how would you define a niche? I'm going to tell you what my book says. What is a niche? Starts out with a story, talks about finding your courage to choose your niche. It's actually very courageous to choose your niche. A niche is not just finding a target market, it's also discovering your place in the world, your role in the marketplace, and for what your business is known for. Your niche is where you fit, it's your identity. Your niche is what defines your values, business decisions, and choices of services and clients. So that's my definition of a niche. You guys put your definition of a niche in there. I want to see. Being an expert in our domain. Yes, I love it. It is being an expert. You're right. And it's known as the expert, right? Okay. So what is a niche? Why do you resist it? So again, this is in my book. Oh, here's my book, you guys. Hypnosis Niche, The Power of Niching for a Profitable and Successful Hypnosis Business. And we're going to figure out why you can't get it, but because I'm going to put the link in there too for you guys so you can get this book if you'd like. It is free. And okay, so why do you resist it? Well, I know why you resist it. I wrote the book, right? You resist it because it's scary. You resist it because you think that people are not going to find you if you're only the expert in one thing. You resist it because you don't think you're an expert and you've got the imposter syndrome. So you're like, who am I to teach on sports hypnosis when I haven't been an athlete? That's not true, because what I believe is that we help people manage their mind. We are the experts in the mind. They are the experts in what they need change in, right? So when we embrace that, we can be an expert in anything. I have many, many, many times thought, oh, I could niche in the aging population and memory loss. Oh, I could niche in bedwetting for children because I've had experience in it all, yet I only have so much time. So I got to choose a niche. Even though I know I'm really good at working with people with anxiety, I'm awesome at being a business coach and coaching people, entrepreneurs in my office using the Attitude of a Champion program. I'm really good at a lot of things. Yeah, I decided that when I chose my niche, that was going to make my business profitable, and it truly did. So it's hard to pick a niche, right? We just talked a little bit about that. And then being afraid that you can't switch your niche. But here's the thing, you can switch your niche, although I would not suggest it until you become the expert in it, as known as the expert in it, like you're making money at it. Because that's the point of choosing a niche. That's how people find you. If you were having heart issues, you wouldn't Google doctor in my area. You would Google heart specialist in my area. If you wanted to work with somebody for mindset training with athletes, you would look for mindset for athletes or hypnosis for athletes. If you had lost someone in your life and you were working through grief, you would Google an expert on grief. And so that's how people find you. Yet it does not limit your practice, because when they see how good you are, they want to know if you can, like hypnosis. Can you help me with weight loss? Can you do smoking? I have a son that has ADD, or my child is struggling with anxiety. So seriously, people find you, yet they find you a lot easier when you've chosen your niche. Now, I know, where is it? Sally had said that one of her biggest challenges with niching down is the impatience and being swayed back into other areas by the opinions of others. So, Sally, I don't know if you're on here because I know you're in Australia and your time zone is completely different. In fact, I think it may be still in the middle of the night for you, but you'll probably rewatch this. I have to say, like, you guys step into your power. And I'm going to do an exercise in clarity in just a minute on how do you get clear on your niche, but don't let others sway you. Like, just know what you're good at and know what you want to make money at and step into it. You are an expert. Embody it and step into it and stop wavering because you're just holding yourself back, right? Like you're literally wasting time by switching all over the place. So I'm going to challenge you and I want to challenge you and invite you to seriously think about it and choose a niche. So you guys in the comments, I'd love to hear what what are your favorite clients? Just type in the comments, you guys. What are your favorite clients? And whether you're here right now on the live or you are joining me later for the replay, I still would love to hear who your favorite clients are. It doesn't have to be your niche. I just want to know who your favorite clients are. So for me, my favorite clients are athletes. And here's the reason. And high performers. Like I love entrepreneurs, musicians, like anyone that's a high performer. And you, my friends, are high performers because you're entrepreneurs. So the reason I love high performers is it's not emotional. It's pretty cut and dry. It's like our job is to help them to step into their power because they've already embraced that they want to be a high performer. So for me, high performers are easy. It's pretty structured. I know exactly how to work with them. Not that I don't know how to work with other clients, but it doesn't suck my energy as much. So that's my favorite client. When I have an athlete or a high performer, I'm like, oh, finally, like easy session, as opposed to like really listening and being intuitive about what they need. Performers are easy. Champsy says, clients struggling in love relationships. I love that. So I'm assuming that you have some experience, and maybe that's why, in having a successful love relationship. Although, I mean, obviously you don't have to, but I'm assuming those are your favorite clients because you relate to them, right? Now, I was never an athlete. I'm going to be honest. They're just easy clients. So, and because I had athlete sons, to me, that was easy. Okay, so again, I want to know, you guys, what your favorite clients are. Okay, go ahead and type that in. I think this was important. I wanted to say that it's counterintuitive to say I only work with certain clients. So it would be very counterintuitive for me to say I only work with athletes. Although you get to a point in your practice where you have so many clients, you start to want to refer them out or hire someone because you just can't service them all. And you don't want to turn people down. I'm kind of at that place. And so it's figuring out the timing, how to find the time to work with them because it's really time for dollars. So it's counterintuitive to say I only work with certain clients. When you align your practice to a very specific niche, so love relationships, athletes, grief, not only do you end up seeing more clients, you work with the best, but you also end up increasing your fees because you're perceived as the expert. So just so you guys know, I have increased my fees as a performance mindset expert or sports hypnotist 4 or 5 times in the last 3 years. And I keep doing that because I know my value and I have less time and more clients. So when you start to run out of time, you can increase your prices. And here's the thing is I thought it might decrease my business because I was charging more. Yet I have the same client load that I had when I charged $100 less an hour. Isn't that crazy? So because I'm the expert, people will pay for me as the expert, and it actually increases my fees and increase my business. You get referrals that other generals don't get by others because you're an expert in sports hypnosis, as opposed to Karen's a hypnotist and she sees athletes, or Karen's a hypnotist and she, works with everybody. So your referrals are better because you're known as the expert. I am the performance mindset expert in the area. So, like, not only area, but people come to me from 4, 5, 6 hours around because sports are everywhere and people talk. Let's see. If you know someone who might be interested. Oh, I wanted to let you guys know. I have a few notes here, as you can tell. If you know someone that might be interested in this video that is struggling with a niche, please tag them in the comments or invite them to join the Profitable Hypnosis Business Group. And Jesse, I know you're on here. If you could type in maybe the link to the Profitable Hypnosis Business Group, And then you can join that group because I'll be doing more lives in there. And this video is also in there. So if you know of anyone that would like to know more about a niche or struggling with choosing their niche, please tag them and they can hear this too. Because I believe that the more we share with others, the more successful every one of us is ours. So leave comments and questions in the comment box down below if you guys have any questions for me, and I'm keeping an eye on it, and Jesse's going to let me know if there's anything that I should address for you guys. If you have questions about niches, I would love to help you out right now. I do offer a niche coaching call, or I used to, where I help people kind of determine their niche. But hey, we're on here right now. So if you guys have questions about choosing a niche or why, go ahead and put it in there. Otherwise, many of the answers are in here. Let's see. I addressed Sally's question about the impatience of being swayed back and forth. So the bottom line, you guys, is that I am an expert in sports hypnosis. I work with athletes with injuries and performance anxiety. I work with youth and collegiate, and I'm even offering a program right now for professional football players in California. And it's a mindset training program and a nutritional program. And I work with professionals the same way I work with youth. And so it's a very similar program. But bottom line is I like working with high performers. I've realized is this, last couple of years went on that high performers need coaches, athletes need coaches, and entrepreneurs need coaches. You guys need a coach because you're a high performer, right? You're the high performer. And what I've learned is that my expertise is working with high performers. And this is all because I wrote a book on niching and I choose to niche. Oh, hey, Dan, how are you? I'm glad to see you in here. I haven't seen you in a really long time. I'd love to know what you're up to. So cool. Okay. Anyways, sorry about that, you guys. I had to just get in here and say hi to Dan. He's one of my favorites. He actually worked with my son on wrestling and sports hypnosis. So it's so good to see you, Dan. And yeah, you're one of your niches. I think your niche is mostly sports hypnosis, right? But I think you have other ones that you work on. Okay. Because I don't want to keep you guys on here too long. It's already been 22 minutes. I wanted to give you a little exercise on finding your clarity. So this is your challenge for you guys. And when you have commented all 3 days, you get an opportunity to have a coaching call with me. So here's your challenge. And this goes in the comments. It's your exercise to find clarity on your niche. So write these 4 statements down. Actually, I think I might have 5 because I remember I wanted to add one. In the positive present tense, choosing your niche and what your offer will be. This is in my book. Spend a few minutes feeling what you want your business to look like and feel like. So the first one is, I enjoy working with clients who need help with. So if you guys just want to put in the comments the answer to that. I enjoy working with clients who need help with, and then the answer to that. My favorite clients are entrepreneurs, teens, women making transitions in their life. I love that. Thank you, Linda. Yes. Oh, I love it. Jesse's got it in there. Okay, second one, number 2. My life experiences have made me an expert in. Now, you don't actually have to have a life experience in working with athletes, but I have a life experience, not as an athlete, but my kids are in it, right? So I have some knowledge around it. So maybe, I know one of my niches could be dealing with grief because my son died. But what do you have some experience in? My life experiences have made me an expert in. Too many things, Linda says. All right, number 3. I am confident I can be successful with clients who. Now, let me finish that. I am confident I can be successful with clients who. All right. Here's the bottom line with that is you can be successful with clients who do anything. Yet, I would encourage you to find a mentor or a coach. Now, I know there are a lot of us in this industry that offer like half day VIP days. I offer a half day VIP day package, which I'm putting together now. It's a half day VIP package and 4 coaching calls for anyone that wants, let's say you want to work more with people with anxiety or love relationships. I have scripts about it. I've worked with it. I have notes on it. But I encourage you, if you want to uplevel your business, to find a coach that has experience in it that can coach you through it. It will expedite your business by years. So there are coaches out there, even just business coaches that offer VIP days or programs. So obviously, I have a program working with athletes if you want to work with athletes, but I also offer VIP days and coaching calls. It's like a program with 1 VIP day. So it's a full half day with me, and then 4 coaching calls through that, and then access on WhatsApp, which is that app for 6 months to ask questions so I can help you. Are ready to level up. I love it. Stepping out of my comfort zone and finding your authentic self. I love that. Yes. And you know what? That's what being an entrepreneur is, right? I mean, we get to step out of our comfort zone because really that's stepping through the fear. And there's no way to step through fear but to just embrace it. And one of my techniques that I use with my clients when they're high performers is to step over the line, right? So cross the line. Imagine that line in front of you, and here you are standing in fear, and then step over the line and make a commitment to yourself. Just get it done. And then you get to be in integrity to yourself, because what we find is sometimes it's easier to be in integrity with someone else, and we want to hold our line, and we will have honor with them. Yet when it comes to ourselves, we're not in integrity. We make promises, we don't keep them. We say we're going to do things, we don't. So what if, you guys, what if you decided to be in integrity to yourself as much as you are to others? What would that change in your life? Rita says, using their mindset to improve their performance, working with students and families. I love it. And you know what? Mindset, right? The key word. I had a business coach that would say mind space, because your mind is never set. It's the space in your mind. And I love that too. So mind space, right? You can use that. Crystal says they're looking to get through grief, self-doubt, and self-healing. Yeah, for sure. When we heal and get through grief. I love it. Crystal, I'd love to speak to you about that. I don't know if you know this, but my son died just a year and a half ago. And I just feel like there's so much I could teach and give people on moving through grief. So, okay, and the fourth one, you guys, the last one. When I imagine my ideal hypnosis business, I see myself. Now, this is not only around niching, but this is about a powerful, thriving, successful business, right? What does your business look like? How many days a week do you work? How much money are you making every month? What are you charging? What does your ideal hypnosis business look like? For me, it's seeing clients 2 days a week, maybe 1 full day and 2 half days, because I've been working 2 full days of like back-to-back clients, and I honestly, I'm feeling like it's not working for me. The next day when I have other things to do for my course and stuff, I just it's tough because I'm still catching up. So, anyways, I think you guys like too much information, right? Anyways, my idea business is 2 days of clients, and I could be very comfortable on 2 days of clients, like thousands of dollars a week. And so, what does your ideal business look like? I imagine my ideal business. I see myself. And how is that you see yourself in your ideal business? And what kind of clientele do you see yourself working with? And then lastly, I think it's important, and this one is not in the book, but I was thinking about it this morning, is I have, literally, like I have a mentor or I know a mentor that can help me with. And the reason is again, I found that when I wanted to get my Attitude of a Champion program out there, I knew that I couldn't do it on my own if I wanted to do it in a short amount of time because I didn't have the resources, I didn't have the knowledge, I didn't have the mindset. And my business coach, like my mindset changed. I went to a leadership program. She had all of the resources. She taught me about Calendly and Active Campaign and website development, all of those resources. I didn't even know where to start. And I took her lead and I did what she said to do. Like I was an action taker and the results were amazing. So I know a mentor that can help me with. Yeah. All right. Seeing clients 3 days a week and giving workshops. I love it. I love it. And that is the perfect ideal thing. And then what I love about seeing clients is like if I see them on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, if Tuesday doesn't work for me, I'll just block off Tuesday in my Calendly and open Wednesday or open Thursday. So that's what's so beautiful about having a business. Linda says, developing programs and being in joyous grace and ease. I love that. What a beautiful statement. One of my affirmation statements is all opens up with ease and simplicity. All right. Crystal says, I see myself thriving, having freedom to set my own hours. I do that and I love it. I know, like, we went up skiing with my family last week, and I typically see clients on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And you know what was the freedom part of it is they wanted to go on Tuesday and Wednesday. It worked for everybody else. So what did I do? I blocked my Calendly, like it had to be weeks in advance because I'm booked out probably a month in advance. So maybe it was a month. Blocked my Calendly on Tuesday and Wednesdays when I typically see clients, and I opened up Monday and Thursday. And then I decided that I didn't want to work 2 full days because then I had other things I needed to do. So I opened Monday and Thursday afternoon. So yeah, you guys, it is beautiful to be a business owner and you get to like really enjoy it. So okay, I hope that was helpful for you guys around niches. Please go ahead and get my book. And I hope that I addressed everything. I'm going to check in the private chat, you guys. I think I did. Just, you know what? Bottom line is that we all need coaches, and athletes need not only a physical coach, but they need a mental coach. So if you guys are interested in working with athletes, let me know. And wanted to mention that choosing a niche is really important. So you guys, if you're still on here, I'd love to hear if you've gotten any clarity around it. And you can always come back to this live because it will be in both groups. And let me know if you chose a niche or if you have any questions. I'm here to answer it. But let me encourage you, just pick a niche, get yourself a Google business site. They're free, and put some pictures up there, some testimonials up there, and then declare yourself as an expert in something. See how it works for you, right? Like, why not? I encourage you to do that. I invite you to do that. So, all right, everybody, have a great day. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, Tamsi. Again, I would love to hear how to pronounce your name. I hope I'm saying it right. So, all right, you guys have a great day. I love you all.